Hello, I'm Wanderer001 and this is my review of the Mpow H17 active noise cancelling headphones. Now I have a pair of Tautronic noise cancelling headphones review over there in the corner, which I absolutely love. So much so that my wife started stealing them, so I needed to get her own pair of noise cancelling headphones. Well, being a reviewer, rather than just getting another pair like I had, I figured this would be a good time to actually check out Mpow, because, well, if you go on Amazon, generally 9 times out of 10, if you find a Tautronics device, you are also going to find a corresponding Mpow device. The two headsets that I got are not exactly alike in that this is actually an older model, so it was slightly cheaper. So that's going to be one thing to consider. What you get with the Mpow H17 is a headset that is mostly plastic, meaning you'll get some decent flexibility out of it, and ear cups that will fold in on themselves as well as twist. Now, part of the reason for that is because aside from just the Mpow headset, what you also get is a faux leather-ish carrying case, which is stretchy, that they just fit into once collapsed upon themselves. And you also have peripherals. You have your male-to-male 3.5 and your micro USB for charging. The Mpow themselves are made of plastic, so that aids in their stretchiness, but one of the larger selling factors for me for this one is how incredibly light they are at only 7.2 ounces or 204 grams. So you will barely notice these on your head. And again, in comparison to the Tautronics that I already have, these are substantially lighter. Now, the overarching headpiece here has this thick plush foam. I will admit, you do notice it when it's on your head because it is so thick, but it adds to the cushioning and adds to the fact that you barely feel them. The top also has that faux leather, which seems to be the MO of this particular headset. What do I mean by that? Well, if we come over here to the ear cup, this is actually not hard plastic. This is a faux leather covering on top of the hard plastic. So I don't know how I feel about that, because that will scratch and degrade over time. But again, for the price, which we'll cover later, I'm not too concerned about that. Both ear cups flip in, so if you want to rest this around your neck and lie these flat on your chest, you don't have them sticking up, which is a nice feature. The ear cups themselves are made up of the faux leather, just like a lot of other things on here. They are very plushy, which I do appreciate. They're also the oval design, which is my preferred headset shape. There are newer models, again, just like with the Tautronics, that are the circular design now, which I don't like because it does not fit my ear well. It feels odd. These have that classic oval shape. I will admit my ears do fit in here without touching the rims or the padding in here, which covers 40mm driver. And like I said, cushioning is reasonably deep. I can use these with my glasses and don't notice any difference whether I have them on or off. Now, the beauty of these and the fact that they have such nice cushioning is whether you're actually using the active noise cancellation or not, the cushioning helps to dampen any sound that you may be getting. So without actually even using noise cancellation, you're already lowering the sound volume. All right, starting over here on our left cup, this is our active noise cancellation switch. Flicking this on, you'll see a blue light. You'll know it's on. Flicking it off turns it off. Now, one of the things I like about this is you can activate the noise cancellation separate from if you're listening to something on the headset. So if you just want to use these for active noise cancellation, which is generally what my wife does, she sits downstairs since we're currently working from home, being in the age that we're in right now. The air conditioner is right behind her. It's very noisy. She just pops these on, turns on active noise cancellation, and it kills the tone of the air conditioning. Now, the active noise cancellation decibel range is about -2.8 decibels. So what that's going to do is that's going to cut down on the sound of things like motors, engines. However, people talking to you, you will still hear them. They will be slightly muffled, but you will still hear them. So that's one good thing about noise cancellation. Should this be the first time you're actually looking at a noise cancellation headset? Because I know when I first did, I didn't know it would do that. This does that, just in case you're wondering. On the left ear cup as well, we have a input for 3.5mm. So if you do not have a phone that supports Bluetooth, or if you have a device that doesn't support Bluetooth, which, by the way, like I said, this is an older model, so this is compatible with, this uses Bluetooth 4.0, you have the option to plug in this headset, should your device still support 3.5mm headphone jack. Coming over to the right ear cup here, you have your controls. So it breaks up your noise cancellation on the left and your actual controls on the right. Here we have volume up and 30-second skip back. So quick tap, volume up, hold down for 30-second back. Here we have our power on, play pause, and actuate the last phone call that you've actually made. So long press turns it on, quick tap to play, quick tap to pause. While it's on, hold for 10 seconds and you can activate the last person that you called. Down here we have our volume down and skip ahead 30 seconds. So again, quick tap, volume down, hold for skipping. Down here we have our micro USB charging port. Now this is one of the things about this headset that I'm iffy about. They claim that you can charge it and within 10 minutes get a 2-hour runtime. Well, yes, you can kind of get that. However, it takes just shy of 3 hours to charge the 650 milliamp battery in this. And I know that's splitting hairs, but on the Tautronics, I was able to charge in 1:20. And it also had the quick 10 minutes and then you get 2 hours of audio playback. I will say that these tout a much more substantial playback time than Tautronic headset that I have. However, that's based on your listening and whether you're using active noise cancellation, how high you have the volume, etc. So, somewhat of a trade-off. Coming back to our charging, there is an LED indicator right here. So, when you are charging, this will be red. When you are done charging, this will be green. When it gets down to 10%, you will get a constant nag telling you to charge. There's no way to change the volume of that nagging, so at 10%, you're pretty much going to have to charge it. And then last but not least, on our right ear cup is our microphone. Because, well, yes, you can use these to make calls. I will say that call quality on the other end of the line, I have been told, is acceptable for something like this. Receiving calls in and hearing it, perfectly fine. So what you're getting with this will not be super high audio quality, let's be honest. However, what I can say, for things like podcasts and the spoken word, these work very well. If you're going to be listening to music that has lots of bass in it, this might not be what you're looking for. However, music playback is generally acceptable for the average user, we'll say. I'm not a super audiophile, so I'll say listening to music just fine. Do know though, if you are listening to something and turn on your active noise cancellation, you will notice that it kind of flattens out the tones. So the lack of bass that you're already getting will be more pronounced. However, if you're listening to audio podcasts where it's just people talking, it's not going to be that much of a deal breaker for you. So this brings us to what I consider to be one of the best selling factors for this particular Mpow headset, because they do have lots of other headsets. In that, you can pick this up anywhere between $40 to $30, depending on if they're having sale, active coupons, anything like that. That's the average price for this. I will have a link for these headsets down in the description area below. If you are looking for your first cheap, under $100 active noise canceling headset with reasonably good audio quality, decent battery life, just a little bit of a long charge time, I would highly suggest checking out the Mpow H17s. Realistically, for the lightweight headset here for active noise cancellation, if this is your first go around, you can't really go wrong, and there's no reason not to try them out, except for, like I said, all of the fake leather that's on this, which eventually will deteriorate, but for that price, they'll have something better in the future. With that said, I have been Wanderer 001. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the area below. And as always, thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, consider giving it a like, as that will help other people find the video as well. If you like what I'm doing here, you can always help fuel the next review by buying me a coffee, link in the description below. Last but not least, if you want to be notified when I upload a new video, you know what to do.